Hi guys. Right, so I'm coming back with my second section on my life and what happened with my health. Trying to piece together, do the dot to dot of what went on with me and whether or not it's all connected to what I'm like now. I'm in bed today because I'm really not feeling well. It was me for Trek's 8 day yesterday. And I felt really, really sick, So I thought I'd sit here and talk to you guys again. So before I got up to like adolescence, aged like up to 10. This was me aged 10. And you know, I'd been pretty poorly most of my life. I'd been pretty different most of my life. Had quite a lot of things going on. Age 10 we moved from Essex to Cambridgeshire. It was a whole new journey, meeting new people. Being different, people staring at my birthmark was all like fresh again. You know, all the people where I'd come from in Essex had got used to my face, and then I had to come and be the different girl again to a whole new bunch of people. And I was like a little bit older as well, so it was a bit, well, it's not easy, is it, being different when you're that age? You just want to be fit in more than anything. Senior school started, and I can't say it was fun. Got older kids are just as cruel as younger kids are. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but names will never hurt you. Well, they do. Names hurt. About halfway through my first year at senior school, started having some stomach problems, and initially I was admitted to hospital with suspected appendicitis. Like, I was just being prepared to go into surgery, and they decided no, it wasn't appendicitis, that there was something else going on with me. As it turned out, it was a severe case of constipation. I spent 10 months in hospital in total, half of which I was in St Thomas's Hospital in London, and I underwent some daily gruesome tests and treatments. I mean, I was only 10 years old, 10 and 11 years old. I had that many x-rays while I was in hospital that they had to stop x-raying me because they said it was a danger. I was becoming, whatchamacallit, you know what I mean. Radioactive. Anyway, it wasn't fun for a 10 to 11 year old. They never really got to the bottom of what was wrong with me, except for that my nervous system didn't seem to be telling my stomach, my body, when to open my bowels. And it was quite an experience at that age, spending that long in hospital, away from family, school and friends. Returning, imagine I hadn't had much time to make friends, and then I was gone a year. Wasn't very easy, but I settled in well eventually. Of course, being back in the public eye returned attention to the birthmark on my face again. I'd hit puberty at this point, and it was very important amongst my peers what we all looked like. So the next year, at 12 years old, this was me, aged 12, I went to see a specialist about getting special makeup to cover my birthmark. The difference in skin colour was too extreme. Like, my birthmark was here. You can see the scar, but my birthmark here was, I mean, it was as dark brown as you could possibly imagine skin to be. And my skin, as you can see, and it always has been, was incredibly pale white. The contrast was too extreme to get makeup to cover it. So the makeup didn't work. But while I was there, the doctor asked some questions and talked about my birthmark, and there was like a lump that had been growing out of it right here. And it had been, you know, it had bled a couple of times, and it had been itching and stuff like that. But obviously I was too young to understand what that meant, or the risks involved with any of it, really, at all. I had no idea. But so, yeah, he took a small biopsy, and within a few days or a week, we had been called back, and my first of 4 surgeries was arranged to remove my birthmark. The lump in the centre was cancerous and would be the first part to go. I was 12, and I didn't really understand the connotations of what they were telling me. I just accepted that my birthmark was going. One part of me felt excited at the prospect of being normal, the other part of me thought, but my birthmark is what makes me me. Who will I be without it? So I went in for my first surgery and had 3 more, 1 each year until I reached 16. Each time removing a small section of my birthmark and closing it back up. So it was a long time before I was, well, before my face actually became normal. It didn't really, did it? Because up until now, like, which is far thing from normal at the moment, but you know, you can't see really the scar tissue, and that isn't too bad. Like, and if I put on a bit of makeup now, it doesn't show up at all. But you know, all the way through that, I had like 2 sections of a birthmark sealed back together, and it became smaller and smaller, and then it was scar tissue, and it was quite red raw. Like every surgery, the scar opened up after the surgery, so it was only the last one that actually held together, and I was really lucky because before that it had opened up and been a horrible like mess afterwards. So I was really lucky that that final surgery I didn't need plastic surgery to cover up the damage that they had done. So I was pretty much a grown up. I was 16 and pregnant with my firstborn son at the time of final surgery. The last 3 surgeries has all been done under local anaesthetic, so I got to watch up close as possible as my birthmark was that they slice it open, pull it out, and I could see everything. Pull it out, slice it down, and then stitch me back up again. I suppose between this and the gruesome treatments during my period in hospital, I suppose it made me prepared for the life as a medical marvel. Even as a kid, I had a high pain threshold and walk through experiences many adults would run away from. So I could quite easily just sit there and say, yeah, just cut me open, it's fine, I don't mind. About the age of 14, an ex-boyfriend decided to kick me in the back as I was sat on the floor with my legs crossed. The pain was incredible. I could barely walk. My doctor told me I had a twisted spine, and he laid out the options for surgery, which I refused, as it was a 50-50 chance of success or failure, and you know, I thought that I'd be better off waiting until I was older to become disabled. I was sent away with prescription painkillers, and they never did and still do not ever make a difference to my pain in my back. My doctor warned me that carrying babies would further damage my back. Sometimes my back could be so bad I couldn't stand up, and sometimes it would just be a constant buzzing in the background. The crazy life I've lived, spelling it all out like this, really brings it home to me. I clearly wasn't ever meant to be normal. Surely all these events can't be normal or even coincidental. I'll see you again soon when we go into adulthood. Bye guys, love ya. Breathe easy.